You're watching Retirement Talk with Eric Kearney, Southwest Florida's retirement television. He's an author, a radio host, a fiduciary, and Southwest Florida's premier investment advisor. Here is Senior Investment Advisor Eric Kearney.
And welcome to Retirement Talk TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, and I'm joined today by Eric Kearney, and Eric is President and CEO of Retirement Wealth Advisors. Eric, good morning. How are you?
I'm great, Cynthia. How are you?
I am doing great too. And just, I know you've been so incredibly busy since the beginning of the show so many months ago that I'm so appreciative that you take time to come in to actually do the shows because you're delivering such amazing information to the viewing audience. Today's topic specifically I want to talk about because it involves women and retirement. Yeah. And so often we've seen in the past, and maybe this is still kind of the trend today in a lot of households, where the husband makes most of the financial decisions, right? But typically, as you look at just the ages and when people pass away, it seems like, Eric, and maybe I'm wrong, that the husbands typically can pass away before the wife, and then that leaves the wife not knowing what to do or even where to turn. So I want to talk to you a little bit about how do you help women prepare for retirement? And is it different when you help men versus women?
It is. There's so many different moving parts when you have a single female over a couple. And a lot of times it's also very different with a single female over a single male. The first child that a woman has, it usually hits and affects her Social Security by 16%. Okay. The very first child, because she's entering into the labor force later because they're taking care of children. And so because women naturally are very nurturing and caring, it's actually affecting them from a financial standpoint. We want to be able to have children, we want to be able to raise our children, and we want them to have a good life. But a lot of times women have sacrificed a lot of their own life for their children. And what happens then is that woman may enter into the workforce at a later point once the children start to go to school, but then all of a sudden they may exit the workforce because they're going to take care of a parent.
Yeah.
And what studies are showing is when they exit early, it's affecting them by $131,000 on average in Social Security money. So there's some people that say, well, it's 130 grand, but if you really break it down over a 5-year period, it's $541 a month. And we see a lot of people who would say, I would give my left arm for an extra $541 a month. And so the thing is that the sacrifices are costing them financially, and they have to be better prepared. And so there's a lot of different dynamics that go on with a single female over a single male.
Sure.
And we have to be very aware of those. And we actually want to let that client know, look, these are the situations that we have to deal with you. We want to make sure that we're combating these problems that could come up as an issue. And so the thing is that when we sit down with a single female, there are different things that we take a look at for them. So there's a few more moving parts there, and again, we've got to be aware of all of those.
Okay, absolutely. Can I ask you a question? Do women tend to be more conservative as they're investing?
Yes.
They are?
Yes.
Okay.
The one thing about women is that a lot of times they have less investable assets over a man. So what they want to do is they say, Eric, I'm very conservative. Here's the issue with that. 3 years ago, I sent out a video to my clients. Look, there's 2 trains coming together, and it's interest rates. And when those 2 trains hit, bonds are going to be uninvestable. So there's a lot of people who want to go back to their father's portfolio and saying, look, my dad had bonds, he had fixed income. Well, that was 15 and 20 years ago. This is a completely different playbook in today's world. So as interest rates are plunging, bonds are not a very good place to go. So when women become more conservative investors, we've got to be aware of that because that could actually be detrimental to them over time.
Sure.
And so the thing is that we have to build out a portfolio that's going to work for them. One of my clients, her husband passed away about 7 years ago. She came to me and said, Eric, my husband passed away. I realized that I have a very long life ahead of me. He took care of our finances. I took care of our children. He left her with a good-sized portfolio that was riddled with fixed income. I said to her, here's the problem. This was a good portfolio for the past 5, 10, and 15 years. Going forward, this is not going to be a good portfolio for you. The thing was, Cynthia, she said, you know what, Eric, I've listened to you on the radio, I've seen you on TV, I trust you, do whatever. That's when I said, I appreciate that you trust me, but here's the thing. I want to educate you why we're making these changes. I want to educate you about why this is a better portfolio for you. I want to educate you and show you that you are going to have sustainable income for the rest of your life. And she said, okay, I appreciate that. We put her through the process, Cynthia, and she knows more about her portfolio than ever before. And the thing is that I'm not just going to take over your portfolio and hope for the best. We want to educate our clients as we go through. She's now educated, and when she has a friend or a family member that happens to the same thing, I'm the first call that she makes, because she's like, call Eric, he'll fix this for you.
Yeah. And
so the thing is that, again, we want to be uber sympathetic, because when things happen to someone and we lose loved ones, that's a hard enough thing. That's a mental issue that a lot of people have to get over, that the emotional issue and the mental issue of losing someone. It's very difficult. When I lost my father last year, it kind of reminded me of what my clients go through, because when you go through it very personally, it's a very difficult issue.
Sure.
What we're trying to do is make them realize you still have to go on financially, and how can we make that easier for you? So when people are able to live the lifestyle that they had, stay in the home where they're at right now, be able to afford that, it helps them to heal a little bit over time.
Oh, sure.
So the financial planning side has a concrete spot in there, which we always have to maintain, because no matter what, we still have to pay our bills and we still have to maintain that lifestyle. So there's a lot of times where if we get a single female coming in, one of the questions I ask them is, how would you feel if you lost your lifestyle? And it's a very powerful question, because nobody wants to lose their lifestyle. Eric, I go walking on the beach every morning, or I take my dog running. I don't want to have to move out of here.
Yeah.
And so that's the biggest thing that we're showing them is, okay, then let's get to work. Let's dig in deep. Let's put together a plan for you that's going to be sustainable. So it really does make a big difference for them.
Absolutely. Eric, we're about ready to open up the phone lines for the very first time this week to the viewing audience at home. Can you tell them what they can expect to receive by being one of your first 10 callers this week?
Sure, Cynthia. If you're one of the next 10 callers and you're serious about financial planning, this is a great opportunity for you. What we're going to do is, no obligation, we're going to build a financial plan for you. It's over $1,000 value. We're going to be giving it away free, no cost, no obligation. What this will consist of is simply running all the reports for you. The fee reports, the Morningstar reports, a tax analysis, maybe even a volatility analysis. Let's see where that plan leads you. Let's see where that plan takes you. Let's get you reacquainted with your portfolio, and again, without any obligation. If you're interested in your very own income plan, we'll show you proven strategies and techniques to turbocharge your retirement income. In short, we're going to get you reacquainted with that portfolio. You'll know more about your portfolio than ever before. 1-800-779-1942.
Eric, thank you so much. To the viewing audience at home, that number to call once again is 800-779-1942. We know you have a lot of questions about retirement, especially if you're one of the female viewers that's watching today. This show really is targeted towards you. It's going to help you understand what needs to take place in your life to retire comfortably. So again, the number to call is 1-800-779-1942. When we come back from this very short commercial break, we're going to dive right in with Eric to have more questions and answers about planning your perfect stress-free retirement. Please stay tuned.
What does your retirement look like? Is it filled with travel, spending time with family, uninterrupted rounds at the golf course? Or are you too worried to even think about your hopes and dreams?
Questions about your retirement are normal. So come into our office, sit down with us, and let us help you find those answers.
Eric and his team can answer your questions with a complimentary review of your retirement and income plan, and it all starts with getting to know you.
We specialize in helping people just like you prepare for the retirement that they've always dreamed of.
They'll do exactly that by going over your current strategy to expose the weaknesses that may exist in your retirement portfolio. Plus, They'll explain potential risks and possible strategies to you in easy-to-understand terms and help get you reacquainted with your portfolio and income strategy.
What I enjoy most about retirement planning is sitting down with you and having real conversations about your retirement dreams and goals.
Once they understand your retirement goals, objectives, and dreams, they'll work to custom build a retirement plan to help ensure that you cannot outlive your income in retirement.
Retirement doesn't have to be scary. Let us help you retire confidently.
Because every dream needs a plan. Call Eric today and schedule your visit. You only retire once, so let's get it right the first time.
And welcome back to Retirement Talk TV with Eric Kearney. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, and Eric is joining me today. He is obviously President and CEO of Retirement Wealth Advisors. Eric, a great first segment, and we were talking on our commercial break, and something just jogged me a little bit about the memory and what you just shared about, women with I'm laughing because what we just talked about, basically, that women should perhaps considering marrying a gentleman that's a couple years younger, right? So that's why I was kind of like stumbling when I did the opening. So I thought, well, that's interesting. I haven't heard that before. So I'm like, to the viewing audience at home, that's the advice. No, I'm kidding. So I do want to jump back in though. So women with retirement specifically, is their number one concern running out of money, specifically more so than gentlemen perhaps?
Yeah, 100%. So when we ask them, what are your top 3 concerns? And that's actually one of the first questions that when somebody comes in, we ask them, what are your top concerns? And there's always a little bit of a sigh. I'm terrified about running out of money. Mm-hmm. Okay, got it, right? And so this is one thing that we hear them. We're not interested in selling you a product. We're not interested in selling you a tool or anything like that. I want to figure out how we're going to get you from A to B. And one of the questions that we also ask is, what is your longevity like in your family? Yeah. And we're hearing people that my dad lived till his late 80s, my mom lived until their mid 90s. My father, I love my dad, but he didn't really take the best care of himself, and he made it to 86. Okay. And so the thing is that, there's a lot of people who don't really take care of themselves, and they're still living a longer life than they expected. Sure. So the thing is that we kind of take a look at the family dynamics, and we did run a plan for a woman because her mother lived till 96, and she said, Eric, I actually want my plan written to 105. Wow. And so the thing is that she does yoga, she's in great shape. There's a very good chance that could happen. Sure. And so with modern technology, modern healthcare, they're making a part for every part of the body anymore, so they can replace a lot of things. Absolutely. So what we're looking at is we're looking to build a lifestyle income plan. We're proving to them where that income is coming from and why, but also they want to know that it's sustainable. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of people out there who have products, tools, and investments and really don't know much about them. What's happening is that they're getting into their mid-70s and now they're starting to run out of money. Mm-hmm. And they're starting to realize maybe this is not an appropriate product for me. Mm-hmm. So this is where we've come in and we've done a lot of financial triage, and we've sat down with that client. We said, look, we really need to make some significant changes here in order for this money to last. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you, we have changed a lot of people's financial lives, and it's been very significant, all the different changes that we've made for people. When we make these changes and these new clients say, Eric, you've really fixed an issue for me, let us know if anyone else is in our situation, and we'll tell them what you did for us. So it's all these financial planning clients that actually turn into advocates for us because they see the difference. They realize not every advisor is the same. Some actually are planners, they're money managers, they're actually out to help me. They have a fiduciary responsibility that they take very seriously. They have a passion for this. Mm-hmm. The funny thing is that my staff and a lot of my clients really crack up because I send out emails at 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning, and I'm still at the office at 8:30 in the morning. The reason why is because if I wake up in the middle of the night and I think about something, I email that person. Yeah. And so the thing is that over the past 5 and 6 years, people have realized, oh, he had something on his mind. And it's normal to get emails from me like that. But the thing is that we have so much passion for what we do, and I take this seriously. Like, this is someone's life that I'm actually managing. And it's kind of like, You know, a lot of mothers have babies, and all my assistants always tell me, Eric, your baby is your financial planning practice and all your clients, and that is the truth. I mean, we want to take everything that we have, all of our passion, and really help out our clients.
Yeah.
And again, when you have a single female coming in who just went through some emotional events because of a lost husband, that's another difficult situation to go through. So the thing is that we want to pull out, again, all the tools and make sure that we're putting that person in an even better financial situation.
Absolutely. One of the things, Eric, I wanted to talk to you about as well, one of the statistics I find to be quite surprising, says women divorced after 50 see an average standard of living drop 45%.
Yeah.
45%, and that is being divorced after 50. Is that because the husband was the primary breadwinner in most situations?
So he was the primary breadwinner. He took care of a lot of things. Sometimes things were in his name. Sometimes he doesn't have to pay alimony. Sometimes there's a lot of things that happen that we don't really like. Divorce can be absolutely financially detrimental. Divorce can be emotionally detrimental. There's a lot of times where we're not able to pick up the pieces for a lot of different reasons. The thing is that we have people that are coming in and they're like, Eric, I've been divorced. I'm trying to get back to work. I'm trying to get back on my feet. And at some point, we've got to make retirement a priority. So the thing is that the more time that you have, Cynthia, the better that we can put a plan together.
Yeah.
And so the thing is that this is very true. There's a lot of statistics that show later in life that women go into poverty status because they just don't have enough money to pay for their expenses. Women are 9 times likely to work part-time in their retirement age over men. And so the thing is that when you walk into a Publix and you see cashiers or people stocking the shelves of retirement age, they're there out of either inspiration or desperation. And so the thing is that, again, we've got to, this is why we take this so seriously, and this is why you and I discussed doing this segment, because we think that it is a really important subject, because there's a lot of people who don't have to be in that situation. So again, we've turned a lot of things around for a lot of people, but this is the way it's going to be from going forward, and everyone that calls us up, we need to, you know, give them a chance at getting a financial plan done.
Absolutely, Eric. And also, the average woman earns and saves less than the average man. So we're talking specifically about single women that are in the viewing audience, perhaps, and just comparing them to the male viewing members.
Right. So in 2017, when you take a look at wage status, in 2017, a man that made $51,800, the same job, the woman actually made about $41,000. So over a 20-year time period, with inflation, cost of living adjustments, and so forth, that's a considerable wage difference. Also, women, again, are very nurturing. They're very caring. So they're more willing to leave the workforce early to take care of someone, and again, sacrifice themselves to do that. So again, men don't have that in them as much. You know, they're out there like caveman, me bring bacon home, right? And so the thing is that men are always just out there working, sending emails at 3:30 in the morning, right? But so it's just ingrained in us that we have to make the money and bring that home. But like I said, the woman is more of the nurturing, and people will say, oh, well, Eric, that's old time thinking. Well, that's just the way it is right now. I can't lie about can't even say the word, but statistics.
Statistics, yeah.
So the thing is that we're taking a look at all these, but more importantly, this is real live events. This is what we see walking through our door. And this is the common denominator that a lot of these single females have. And so a lot of times there has to be tough love from our office saying, look, I know that you want to give more to your children. You've got to start taking care of yourself. And so that's where I kind of put my foot down and say, look, are we going to work together for you and for the rest of your life, or are we going to work really hard so you can give everything to your kids? So the thing is what we really want to try to do is get that single female through retirement and then have them be able to give something to them back to the kids at the end of their life. So the thing is again, it's financial triage. We have to take a look at what's important, get you through your retirement first, get you through health care, and then take care of your kids down the road.
Absolutely. It's like putting your mask on before helping someone else on an airplane.
Good analogy. Excellent analogy.
Well, Eric, we're about ready to open up the phone lines again to the viewing audience. Can you explain to them what they can expect to receive by calling in today?
Sure, Cynthia. So if you've seen anything on the show today that's kind of piqued your interest, you're interested in a second opinion or a full-blown financial plan, Let's take the next 10 callers who have saved at least $500,000 for retirement. And what we're going to do is write a full-blown comprehensive financial plan valued at over $1,000. Let's give it away complimentary, no obligation. And what this will consist of is we're going to run all the reports for you, the fee reports, the Morningstar reports, a tax analysis, maybe even a volatility analysis. Let's see where that plan leads you. Let's see where that plan takes you. Let's get you reacquainted with your portfolio, and again, without any obligation. If you're interested in your very own income plan, we'll show you proven strategies and techniques to turbocharge your retirement income. In short, we're going to take all the guesswork out of financial planning. So again, 1-800-779-1942.
Eric, thanks so much for the viewing audience at home. That number to call is up there again. It's 800-779-1942. We know in the past the lines have been very busy, so we added the additional phone line for your convenience this week. Again, the number to call is 1-800-779-1942. We know you have a lot of questions about planning retirement, and Eric is here to guide you through so that it's an easy process, easy to understand. You'll be able to sleep peacefully at night knowing that you have a proper plan in place. Again, the number to call is 800-779-1942. We'll be right back after this very short commercial break.
What does your retirement look like? Is it filled with travel, spending time with family, or are you too worried to even think about your hopes and dreams? Eric and his team can answer your questions with a complimentary review of your retirement and income plan, and it all starts with getting to know you. Because every dream needs a plan. Call Eric today and schedule your visit. You only retire once, so let's get it right the first time.
And welcome back to Retirement Talk TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio. I'm joined today by Eric Kearney. He is President and CEO of Retirement Wealth Advisors. Eric, a great show focusing in on women this week and how important it is to plan for a proper retirement. Because obviously, so many years past, we've always talked about like women had relied on their husbands to make the decisions for them. And then all of a sudden, their spouse is gone. And so they're left to care for themselves. So I wanted to ask you a question. We talked a little bit about higher medical and health insurance costs. Can we elaborate on that a little bit more for the viewing audience, for women specifically?
Sure. So healthcare costs, this is something that I hyper focus on. The majority of new clients or new prospective clients that we see, guess what? No medical planning has been talked to them or has been shown them. No health care, nothing about that. How are we going to pay for that event? Fidelity did a study. It shows where the average married couple, it's going to cost them over $250,000 in health care costs. Keep in mind, we're talking about chronic illness. We're not even talking about long-term care. So $250,000 for the average couple. However, a single female, it's going to cost them $150,000 in retirement. So what we did was we actually went in and we read a study, and it showed where a woman with diabetes 2 goes through the healthcare system, everything that it costs her to go to the doctor for prescriptions for any drugs that she's taking, whatever like that. And then you take a 97-year-old woman, and it shows how much the person with diabetes costs in healthcare, chronic illness, and prescriptions and everything. And then it shows how much the 96 or 97-year-old woman is. Guess what? The healthy woman who lives till 96 or 97 pays a lot more in health care. The reason why is because there's more chronic illness issues there. So when somebody says to me, or when I ask somebody about longevity, I say, do you have any health issues? I have a bad knee, I have a bad hip. I'm like, okay, that's a pain in the butt to live with, but it's not gonna kill you, right? And so the thing is that chronic illness can cost us a lot. I have to get a hip replaced, I have to get a knee replaced. That stuff is expensive.
Sure.
There's also a lot of things that Medicare does not cover. If you have bad feet, that is not covered by Medicare. If you want to go to a massage therapist, which I highly recommend, that is not covered by Medicare. And I'll say one thing about the massage therapist is, I talk about Juana on my show quite often. She really readjusts me. She really realigns me. And I'll tell you, I had a gentleman that came in my office one time, and he was kind of walking a little bit, and I said, are you okay? And he says, I don't know, my feet are just killing me. I had him go to WANA for 3 times, and I said, just give me 3 times with WANA. And he went there, and Cynthia, he comes in walking like a brand new man.
Wow, that's fantastic.
And the thing is that his hips aren't off or anything.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not a doctor, right? but I was able to help him because, like I said, he didn't have the thinking to go to a massage therapist.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, it's a little expensive, but I'm walking so well, I love it. So the thing is that we have to include healthcare always.
Absolutely, and that's one thing that I think people fail to, not just women specifically, but even husbands and wives together as you're sitting with them and putting together a true comprehensive retirement plan.
Right.
That one component that seems to be missed a lot is health care and long-term care.
Yeah, it kind of blows me away. Like, this is a huge component. How are we going to pay for it? And so we're actually creating a separate income bucket specifically for that. And if you don't ever need it, it'll just be more income for you. If you don't need it, it'll just go to the kids. If you don't need it, it could be a charitable gift, whatever it may be. But the point is that if you get sick, if you have illness, it's there for you. And that's a really good feeling for a lot of people.
Absolutely. It's providing them with peace of mind, knowing that no matter what, they're going to be okay. They're going to be covered.
Right.
And that's so very important. And I know that the women in the viewing audience today have really, truly enjoyed this show, because so often when we're talking about retirement, we're focused a lot on couples or single individuals, but today it's all about women and the many different facets and factors that can contribute to a woman's life. So thank you for having such a great show today, Eric.
Oh, thank you. I mean, like I said, this is something that we want to bring awareness to this subject. It really is a big deal, and I don't think that people are aware of this. So I'm grateful to be able to have the platform to be able to do that for us.
Absolutely. And we have about a minute and a half left of the show, Eric. Do you want to tell the viewing audience what they can expect to receive by being one of our callers this week?
Absolutely. This is your last chance today. Let's take the next 10 callers whose financial plan is missing. If you're serious about your finances, this is for you. We're going to offer you a full-blown comprehensive financial plan review valued at over $1,000. Let's give it away absolutely complimentary. And what this will consist of is simply taking the mystery out of financial planning by taking a look at your current portfolio and making some current changes. We're going to run all the reports for you, the fee report, the Morningstar reports, a tax analysis, maybe even a volatility analysis. Let's get you reacquainted with your portfolio, and again, without any obligation. If you're interested in your very own income plan, we'll show you proven strategies and techniques to turbocharge your retirement income. So give us a call today, 1-800-779-1942.
Eric, thank you so much. Another amazing show. And to the viewing audience at home, thank you so much for watching this week. The number to call once again is 800-779-1942. Remember, you only retire once, so it's important to get it right the first time. We appreciate so much that you enjoy spending time with us, and we hope that you have found the information informative and have received it well. Again, thank you so much for watching. Be blessed, be happy, be safe. We'll see you again next week.